All right, we're ready for the face-off at midfield. We're going to have Katie Johnson for Stonington and Olivia Ficini for East Lyme. They'll be doing the face-off right at the 50-yard line of the football field. So if you're listening at home, the East Lyme girls in white going right to left, and the Stonington Bear girls going left to right, starting at the 50-yard line. The goals in lacrosse are in the end zone of the football field. There is your layout, and here is our face-off. Sticks are crossed. Referee adjusting the players, getting them to be in the proper set position before the face-off. And we are ready to go underway in the 2017 ECC Girls Lacrosse Final. Lindsay, what's taking so long right now?
The sticks just aren't in the right position. They might be like slipping. They need to be parallel with the midfield line, so it's not really looking like they're too parallel. One might be
arm
like
wrestling
pulling.
match right there in case.
Yeah.
Well, it's not quite the scrum that you see in the boys' game, but it's still very important to get proper position. The face-off allowing one team to start on the attack. And right off the bat, the face-off will be controlled by Stonington, and Stonington will have its first offensive possession. Lexi Woviotis down the sideline loses possession, and East Lyme will inbound right at midfield.
One of the players to watch for Stonington, senior Margaret Burgess, Casey, leads the team in scoring with 64 goals this year.
Also, I believe, going to play lacrosse on a scholarship, and if the name is familiar, we'll tell you why momentarily. East Lyme on the attack. Ficini with the ball, heading to the right side of the goal and lose it on the ground, but we'll have a whistle, and East Lyme will retain possession.
Yeah, check across the body for that one.
Not allowed. Again, if you join us for both games, there's a lot of differences in the rules between girls and boys lacrosse, checks being one of them. In front is Bates. Passes off to Rowe. Rowe heads in, shoots, and a goal! Right off the bat, Carly Rowe for East Lyme gets the Vikings on the board. 1-0 with only a minute gone here in the opening half.
Rowe Jr., leading scorer for the team for the East Lyme Vikings. 66 goals scored on the year, Casey. Make it 67. Point-blank shot has East Lyme up 1-0 early.
She went low stick side and beat the Stonington goaltender, Molly Banks, on what was a very nice first shot, and 1-0 Vikings jumping out early. Back to the face-off where Ficini and Johnson again at midfield. This time it seems to be set a little bit faster. Official blows the whistle, and we're off. Ball in the air, controlled nicely by Stonington. On a run is Lexi Woviotis. Woviotis passing up the middle, and ball is loose on the turf, but it's regained by Lauren Turner. And now the Bears head into the attack. Turner into the middle, and a quick shot wide off of the stick of Emma Sabadini. Out of bounds it goes, and the Vikings will stay on defense. The Bears will retain possession. Zoe Robert, a pass into the middle, knocked off of the stick of Hannah Lamb, but the Bears retain possession.
Stonington spreading the field on offense.
Burgess with a nice pass into the middle, but that ball was tipped, retained by Stonington. Zoe Robert with the ball, back up on top. Now a pass looking into the middle. Successful and a quick one-timer. And an answer goal from the Stonington Bears, Margaret Burgess. There she is with the answer.
Yeah, she's the leading scorer for the Stonington Bears. She answers the call, ties the game at 1. You know, Lindsay, that time a lot of action in front of the net. And when that happens like that, the goalie can lose track of players. And that time Burgess took advantage of it.
Yeah, it looked like the girl was on the edge of the crease and kind of hard to follow by the East Lyme defender.
And you know that feeling all too well, Casey. You've been in that position. When the ball moves around like that and you lose sight of the track of the ball, tough to regain where you're at.
Yeah, similar to hockey, when you really have to just have position, the goaltender is in a very difficult position. They have to maintain position, not knowing exactly where the ball is, and rely on their defenders to try to make stops, because you can't follow the ball. If you do that, you'll be a step slow. Now, in girls lacrosse, 2 25-minute halves with running time until the last 2 minutes of the half, but the clock will stop with each goal scored, so we're at 23 minutes here in a 1-1 tie.
67 goals on the season this year. Lindsay, how many did you score?
Oh, I don't even remember. A long time ago.
A run, a shot, and a nice save by the East Lyme goaltender that time, Alex Rowe. Vikings struggling to clear. But a whistle, and it will be Vikings ball.
Yeah, nice scoop save that time by Rowe and goalie, Casey. And that's when you talked about the goalie stepping out, moving towards the ball, making her net available. And a good job that time by the Stonington goalie.
Yeah, Rose that time, the goalie.
East Lyme, I'm sorry.
Right that time with a good position, stick low. Stonington on the attack again. A quick shot and a goal! Kate Johnson puts the Bears on top, 2-1. Reversing field and getting it to the short side of against East Lyme, and the Bears have their first lead.
Yeah, movement in front of the net, loose bodies, nobody checking Johnson that time. Kind of easy pickings for the attacker.
Yeah, girls lacrosse is interesting because you can't really check the body, so you have to like, go for the stick and make sure it's safe and away from their head, so just a hard one on that one.
Yeah, I've noticed that in girls lacrosse, it is very difficult to get the ball away from a defender because they're the contact is limited to the stick but not high. So if a good offensive player can really keep the ball away from even a good defender. So a challenge today for both of these teams as they both have very high-powered offenses. Face-off controlled by East Lyme, down 2-1, 22 minutes remaining. On a run is Julia Bates. Heads into the middle looking to find Rowe, but that time tipped. East Lyme recovers. Back behind the net now goes Rowe. On the left edge, tries to find her cutter. A lot of contact and a lot of bodies in the middle now. Another run by the Vikings and a quick shot and an answering goal that time from Hannah Geller.
Bit of a slam dunk that time at the goal by Geller. That time a point-blank look, bounce shot. Game's tied up at 2.
21-46, and at this pace, this game's going to take 6 hours if we're stopping the clock every time someone scores a goal.
Is this... Lindsay, is this, what a championship game should be like this? So wide open, a lot of scoring on the girls' level?
Yeah, hopefully it'll be an exciting game. The more goals, the better, usually.
Nah, that's what I like, Casey. Offense is best.
Do you remember any of the highest scoring games that you played in as a player?
Not at East Lyme. I don't know. Usually it gets around, like, the upper teens. I wouldn't be surprised if this game gets up there.
We're on pace for about 40.
And I say 18-16 would be like a letdown. Right now we're on pace for 28-26. Face off at midfield in a 2-2 game. 21-45 remaining. You're listening to Game Day. On a run is Geller. Just scored the tying goal. She runs to the middle, tries to find Rowe, and it's tipped loose, and Stonington comes out of the pack. Out of the pack for the Bears is Lauren Turner. Turner heading down the left sideline. Good check that time, but a little too high, and East Lyme call a penalty on the Vikings, and it will be Stonington ball.
You guys win a state championship when you were here, Lindsay?
I made it to semis 3 years.
Semis 3 years.
Yeah.
Did you win an ECC crown?
Yeah, all 4 years.
All 4 years.
Yeah.
That's what I like to hear.
Yeah.
That's why you had some good nights at home with your father after games.
Yeah. He's never really upset about it.
In the middle of the field, Burgess, very dangerous, but whistle and East Lyme ball as a penalty called against the Bears, who were on the attack.
Tradition and dynasty, Casey, there. 4 straight years.
Yeah, East Lyme's won the last 10 ECC titles for girls lacrosse.
10 in a row.
Yeah.
And the Bears tied up at 2 right now, trying to put that pressure on the Vikings. Here's a run and a nice back check that time, but we're going to get a whistle. It was a great run that time by Haley Gordon, and she was one-on-one with the goalkeeper, but the Stonington defender did all she could and back-checked. Gordon will have the ball for the Vikings. 10 yards out, right in front of the keeper. On the official's whistle. Here she goes. Quick shot, and a nice save that time from the Stonington goaltender, Molly Banks. Stonington looking to break out. Wovey, Otis, and Turner. Ball loose. Geller picks it up for the Vikings. Vikings looking to quickly turn into transition. Gordon with ball, right side. Gordon swooping in, looking for a shot, and a goal! Haley Gordon puts the Vikings on top, 3-2. Just under 20 minutes remaining here at 19:44.
Yeah, and that time you saw Gordon circle her way around the front of the net, get a good angle that time, Lindsay, and pop a shot, and good for a 3-2 lead.
Yeah, there was definitely a screen in the front. If you look at the game, one of the East Lyme's players was being face guarded by a Stonington player, so I think she was using her as a screen for that.
And a good rush that time by Gordon, rushing the net. 3-2. Vikings here, Casey.
Yeah, and here in the early going, you see one of the big differences between the boys' game and the girls' game is the inability to check
Right.
with the body and up high, which does allow some freedom for the offensive players. Lindsay, if I'm not wrong, please tell me, but a really good offensive player at this level has to be very difficult to stop since you can't hit them.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, you can get pretty good body positioning, but if you can control the ball, you're pretty good.
And Gordon's one of those players, Casey, 52 goals on the year. I mean, they got some big numbers here on this East Lyme team as far as scoring goes.
East Lyme ball, Sammy Valakos. Across the field pass, now loose on the turf, and nicely picked up that time by Daisy Williams, and the Bears will have the ball, and they'll be on the move, trying to clear their own zone.
See a lot of action in front of the Stonington goalie, for most of this first, say, 6 minutes of this ball game, putting a lot of pressure, on the Bears are the Vikings.
Rowe with a steal for the Vikings. Now she's in front, checked and shoved to the ground by Woviotis of the Bears, and the ball is loose, and we're going to have a whistle finally blown, and it will be Stonington ball.
A check across the body.
Now in the boys' game, is that a play on?
Yeah, definitely.
As long as it's not a defenseless man, which we learned.
That's right, yes.
Oh, nice play that time. The Vikings doing all they can to forecheck and keep it in the zone, but the Bears do clear. Johnson with the ball for the Bears, loses it on the turf, and now out of the pack, Rowe with the ball, but another whistle. A lot of whistles in the girls' game.
Lindsay, early going in this ball game, is it wrong to say that East Lyme has been the aggressor?
Yeah, no, I think you're right.
See, Casey? It happens every once in a while.
But a clock's right twice a day, too, broken one. Broken clock's right twice a day. Stonington ball, Hannah Pratt, and she draws a whistle from the official, and a check or a shove by the Vikings. Now Pratt will have the ball on a free run here for Stonington. Over it goes now. Bears looking to get it inside. Lamb. Cross field, she was looking for Robert, but out of bounds it goes. It'll be East Lyme ball. We're at 17 and a half minutes here as the Vikings with a 3-2 lead over the Bears on the ECC Girls Championship lacrosse game.
Lindsay, on those free run situations, are those set plays that the girls have? Are those set plays or is it just an ad-lib type of situation?
Usually there's some sort of strategy to it. I know when I was at East Lyme, it was always like fast break to slow break, but it depends on the team.
Healy with the ball for the Vikings. Vikings on the attack. Down the left side, Healy. She's crossing. Double teamed by Stonington. Stonington clears. Ball on the turf. Nice job that time by the Bears as Turner picked the ball up for the Bears, and they will have a whistle, and it'll be Bear ball with under 17 minutes to go now in the first half. Turner with the ball right now for the Bears, looking to clear out of her zone. Turner heads toward the middle of the field. Good wheels on Turner. Two Vikings trying to chase her down, but Turner has good speed as she makes it all the way to the 40-yard line, almost to midfield. Nice pickup and scoop by Woviotis. Woviotis is in the clear now. On the attack go the Bears.
Heading up the alley, the left alley.
Oh, she was looking for Burgess, but the nice forecheck that time by the Vikings puts the ball on the turf, and East Lyme comes out of the pack with it as Valakos has it, and she'll draw the whistle. 16 minutes here remaining in the first half. 3-2 East Lyme, and after 5 very quick goals, a little bit of a lull right here as the two teams have kind of figured some things out.
Yeah, things kind of slowed down a little bit. Looks like defensively, Stonington kind of figured things out a little bit in front of the net, keeping some of the East Lyme players away and try to stay on the aggressive end themselves.
Bates with the ball for East Lyme, and lots of territory in front of her. Long run by Julia Bates. She's almost into scoring position before she's finally picked up by Daisy Williams, but she still has the ball, spins, heads to the middle, and tripped from behind with a whistle as Bates made a great run, covering some 50 yards that time before she fell to the ground, and it will be East Lyme ball in a prime attack position.
Yeah, it was a big hit that time by the Stonington defender. Like you said, Bates on a hard charge that time, Casey. Up the right alley, put herself in a position to make a move.
Bates will have the ball, open run with the keeper.
It's a free position shot, so she's 8 meters out, and it's direct, so she can go right to goal.
And shot is off, but a nice save by Banks that time, and the Vikings looking to clear. Vikings retain possession, looking to score. Behind the net for the Vikings. Pass in the middle is deflected, and the Bears come out of the pack with it as Turner has the ball and will draw the whistle for Stonington.
A lot of whistles down there in the bottom left-hand corner of the field. Not too sure what happened there, Lindsay. Handball, maybe?
No, probably like stick body contact like you just saw there. So it's going to be a major foul, so she'll have to go 4 meters behind her.
Distinct advantage for the team that has the ball, but right now East Lyme is trying to forecheck, keep the ball in the defensive zone of Stonington. Stonington down a goal, really wants to clear, and a nice long pass that time by Kat, and Kat Casada's got an open run for the Bears. Casada with good wheels, checked by the Vikings. Casada still with the ball, and a whistle as we get a foul against Julia Bates.
Stick on body again.
Stonington with a possession in front, and now behind the net for the Bears, Sabadini. Sabadini will set up in the... Now, is it called the X in girls lacrosse as well?
No, just behind the goal.
All right. A shot and a goal! Kat Casada ties the game at 3 for Stonington.
A lot of movement that time behind the goal. Probably confused the East Lyme goaltender. Casada cashed in.
You can see the East Lyme defense huddled up with their goalie right now. They want to chat, and Alex Rose is probably saying what she saw and where she needs her defensive players to be, because right now, after a long period of no scoring, Stonington was able to get off a really good shot.
Right, and Casada was basically uncovered, had a point-blank look against the defenseless goalie that time. 3-3, Casey, with 13:52 left to go here in the first half. Casada, a junior.
Johnson will take the face-off again for Stonington. At midfield, officials getting the sticks parallel.
That does look like an arm wrestling situation over there where nobody wants to have the wrist, wrist advantage. So no stick advantage either.
Johnson very good with the face-off that time. Bates did a nice job, and we're gonna get a hold, and it'll be Stonington ball.
Yeah, a held cross.
Held cross.
Yeah, she didn't like ricochet fast enough.
Oh, so you get called for holding somebody's stick down.
Yeah.
Here's a run.
Fantastic.
By the Vikings. Vikings will reset at the top. Ball in the middle of the field is knocked around, and the Bears will control. And out of the pack comes Madison Cassell.
I don't know if you could foul out of a game. Can you get too many penalties to foul out of a game? Because I'd be out in the first half.
Yeah, you
a
would.
Held stick, the body check.
You would.
Yeah, so if you get 2 yellow cards, you're out. Or
2 yellow
card.
cards, all right, yeah.
Here comes Geller on a run for the Vikings. Pass in front to Gordon. Gordon circling around to the right, maintains possession, heads behind the net. Gordon still with the ball for East Lyme. Pass in front, and a shot right point blank by Healy is denied. Great job that time by Molly Banks, who held her ground in goal.
Yeah, under heavy pressure by Haley Gordon. And that's Gordon's spot. She scored a goal there from the right-hand side early in this ballgame, Casey. She likes to work that side of the field.
Vikings with the possession and a whistle. What's that call right there?
A crease violation.
Crease violation, which means that it'll be Vikings still possession.
So she has to be 8 meters away from the goal circle now, so they're putting her on the goal line extended.
Is this a free pass right here? Indirect or direct?
I think this one's indirect.
Valakos with the ball for the Vikings on the left edge, right along the goal line. Out it goes to Geller. Back on top to Rowe. Rowe defended well by the Bears, looking for some room, reverses field, and another whistle.
Yeah, 3 seconds, I think. One of the defenders who was in the 8-meter arc for too long.
What's next? Traveling, Casey? 3 seconds?
Carry,
yeah.
That's okay. We're learning this. We're learning
Yeah,
as
we
we're
are.
learning as we go.
And there's so many differences between the boys' game and the girls' game.
Yeah.
Under 12 minutes now in a 3-3 game here in ECC Championship Thursday as the East Lyme Vikings and Stonington Bears are deadlocked at 3. Vikings ball right in the middle of the field. Healy on a run. Healy point blank and scores! Caroline Healy, or excuse me, was that Carly Rowe?
Carly Rowe.
Number 3, Carly Rowe that time with the goal. And that's going to put the Vikings on top 4-3.
Carly Rowe with her second goal of the game, Casey. The step in front of the net, the shot, the little sidearm style. Listen, and you've got some big pressure up there with Rowe and Gordon constantly harassing the goalie. It's very, very tough, Lindsay, to keep that pressure away from you. That time you saw Rowe with a point-blank shot, and she scored.
Yeah, definitely a good shot.
4-3 Vikings, 11:30 remaining here in the first half, 11:27 to be exact, as the Vikings get back on top here in Championship Thursday ECC Final. The Stonington High School Bear and East Lyme High School Vikings doing battle in the first of 2 big games. Face-off at the middle of the field will be taken this time by Olivia Ficini of East Lyme and Kate Johnson, who we've seen win most of the face-offs up till now.
In relation to the coach?
That's what I said. I imagine. So I would think so, yes.
Ficini name is very, very prominent in Southeastern Connecticut.
And we have a penalty on the face-off.
Yeah, it might have been a false start. That's the only thing I could really think of for that.
False start would entail what?
She just moved early. You have to stay still when the referee moves away.
So Stonington will have a free run at it. Johnson checked nicely that time by Geller, but Johnson spins, has Geller on her hip, but making a run down the left side is Johnson, and she's going to turn and spin and reset for the Bear offense. There's Burgess with the ball for the Bears. So dangerous. Spins to the right, looking to get a shot off. Instead, passes right in front, and a nice save by Rose.
Point blank save that time, keeping East Lyme's lead at 4-3.
Vikings looking to clear. Ball loose. Bears come up with it now, still in the offensive zone. On the attack, there are the Bears in front, and pass just overshoots Zoe Robert. And a nice hustle that time by Rose to get to the ball so that the Vikings will have possession. Rose, dangerous as she's not in her own goal right now, but she gets the pass off to Harrington, but a steal, loose ball in front. The Bears have it, trying to get it off the turf. They can't. And the Vikings pick it up and get it back to Rose to clear.
Wow, a bit of a lost opportunity there for the Bears, Casey. They had a chance to tie this game up.
Well, we saw in our previous lacrosse encounter how important it can be when the keeper does have to leave the net, how it does provide opportunities, but so it's the risk-reward of maintaining possession versus having an open net.
What is that, 2 out of 3 things usually happen, and 2 of them are bad?
2 of them
are bad.
That's right. 9:35 remaining here in the first half, 4-3 East Lyme. A long pass from Rose, and she connects with Harrington, and the Vikings now on the possession. Here comes Geller. Geller running down the right side, into the middle, open, little pass, in front, shot, save by Stonington. Nice save by Banks, and now the Bears look to clear. Casada, open run down the field for the Bears, passes it up front to Sabadini. Sabadini loses control, ball loose, Burgess making a run for it. She scoops it up behind the net and comes out on the right edge to re-control for Stonington.
Nice job for East Lyme gathering and defensively in front of the net.
Burgess spins, shot, and a beautiful save by Rose.
Yeah, Rose has stepped up here a couple times in the first half on some point-blank shots.
Yeah, Margaret Burgess had a perfect opportunity right in front, and Rose stoned her.
Lindsay, are you surprised that the pace of the game is so fast, yet the scoring is kind of slowed down a little bit? Did you expect some more fireworks in this ballgame?
Yeah, I definitely expected more scoring.
East Lyme on a run, trying to extend a 4-3 lead under 8.5 minutes. Shot, a little bounce shot that time by Rowe, but couldn't connect, and out of bounds it goes, and East Lyme will retain possession. Those bounce shots are very, very difficult, especially right in front of the net.
Tough for the goalie to pick up the line of travel on.
Well, it's the flight of the ball. You react to it, and the ball bounces the other direction. Right in front, Gordon, and a hard check right in front, a hold, and it will be East Lyme ball in a perfect attack position. 4-3 under 8 minutes here in the first half.
Oh, and Gordon likes that move where she circles around the front of the net looking for either a shot or a player to throw it to, Lindsay.
And Gordon will have the ball for East Lyme. Perfect opportunity here. 4-3 East Lyme lead. 7:28 remaining. Gordon in front. And a nice deflection that time by Stonington as a defender got a stick on it right as she was getting rid of the shot, and it will be Bear ball, but in a very dangerous location right behind their own goal.
Senior Haley Gordon seems like the type of player that has a nose for the net.
A equipment timeout on the field, otherwise known as a loose shoelace. When this happens in Little League, we yell shoe check, and 7 kids immediately go down to tie shoe. Stonington clears. Casada with a run. Nice forechecking by the Vikings, but a push will go against East Lyme, and it will remain Stonington ball. Kat Casada will inbound for the Bears. She has the ball, cradles and runs. She tries to slice through multiple East Lyme defenders, and we're going to get another whistle.
Dangerous check. So it'll be Stonington's ball.
Casada's very quick. She's got good speed. She's also very, very lean. She knifes through defenders. She's got to be very difficult, especially in the open field. Casada, long pass in front. It goes to Sabadini. Sabadini on a run. Out wide to Johnson. Johnson in front. East Lyme adjusts. Johnson cuts through players. Fires off a shot point blank, and it's deflected and saved by Rose.
Great job that time by the East Lyme goalie. Johnson stepped in, had a point blank shot. Good action in the first half here for East Lyme at goal.
East Lyme on a run. Nice job this time. Moving with the ball is Toback. Toback crosses midfield. Toback up ahead. It goes to Rowe. Rowe with some open space. Heads to the right edge of the crease. Cuts in front. Rowe with a shot just wide. East Lyme will retain. Ball still on the turf. And loose, and Valdez loses the ball, and it will be, we're looking for an official's call.
Yeah, out of bounds.
Out of bounds, and Stonington has the possession. Looking to clear. Bears on a run. Turner with the ball and some open space. Up ahead to Casada. She loses it on the turf. Ball's loose. Still loose, and now picked up by Turner. Tries to get it to Casada. Still a little bit loose. Ball's on the turf. Again, now no control. Out of the pack comes Stonington with the ball for the Bears is Cassell. And Cassell, nice save in there by Avalon Jones of the Bears, but the Vikings retain possession and scoop as we're under 5 minutes remaining here in the first half.
You know, the luxury, Lindsay, of having a senior goalie like Alex Rose back there has got to really help the defense quite a bit.
Oh, yeah, and I think she's been the starting goalie since her freshman year, too, so she has a lot of experience back there.
On the other side of things, the Bears goalie, Molly Banks, is, in fact, a freshman.
Yeah.
So a big difference in the experience level of the two goaltenders today.
Mm-hmm.
One's a senior captain, one's a freshman. Both doing great jobs.
But based on the early showing, in 4 years, we might be saying the same thing about Molly Banks that we're saying currently about Alex Rose.
Sure.
Vikings up 4-3, but the Bears are pressing on a run. Sabadini to the right edge of the goal, and a nice anticipation save that time by Rose as she took away the passing lane. Nice job by the East Lyme senior. 4 minutes remaining here in the first period.
Wow.
Now it's only 4-3. Wasn't it 2-2 like 30 seconds into the game?
It was, and that's why I was questioning the pace of the game, and was Lindsay surprised that there wasn't more scoring.
Yeah, and there's a lot of swinging sticks right now.
A lot of swinging sticks, and was it a timeout?
Yeah, because East Lyme had possession, so they can call a possession timeout.
That's a brilliant move by the tactician.
Yeah, I think everyone just needed a rest. There's a lot of back and forth.
Is that what your dad is talking? What is your dad talking about right now in the huddle, and what's he going over, if anything at all, if not giving the kids a rest?
Definitely, the timeout's probably to slow the pace down, stop the momentum on both sides, just to calm things down. He's probably talking about just keeping the game clean. It's a lot of swinging back and forth, so he's probably trying to limit that because that's not good lacrosse.
So the game gets a little sloppy, things get out of control, turnovers, wasted possessions. So
exactly.
Let's just calm down. Let's relax. We got 4 minutes left to go here in the first half. Mm-hmm. Let's try and put another one on the board and take 2-goal lead, go into the locker room.
Yeah,
definitely. I should be a coach.
Well, you've got the motivational speech stuff down. I mean, you could sell it. For
absolutely.
Sure. You could sell it for sure. Absolutely.
I couldn't talk strategy.
No, we'd run through a wall for the sports doctor.
Yeah, I mean, lacrosse no strategy, but I'm sure those are the things he's relaying, and he's probably talking about strategy as well.
Yeah. Well, there are aspects of all sports that things that transcend sports, and having a feel for the flow of the game
Right.
is something that transcends all sports. In basketball, knowing when to call a timeout
Sure.
before a team goes on a run. In baseball, knowing when a pitcher is starting to, right, those are things you kind of sense the momentum of the game. Lacrosse, no different. Coach Schneider said, you know what, things are getting a little sloppy.
Right.
And like in a basketball game, right, things get sloppy, suddenly turnovers, the other team gets an advantage. So good timeout.
Now, the other big point, too, is when Johnson scored that goal in front of the net, the last Stonington goal, you saw the defenders get together, talk things over a little bit. So, they don't necessarily have to get the guidance from the coach. I mean, players themselves police that up. So you saw the group of players gathering on the goalie. So you've been on that field. You've been in all those conversations.
Yeah. No, it definitely helps, make sure everyone's on the same page and communicating.
Now, is that the captain, the goalie, senior captain, saying, listen, where are our assignments? Where are we supposed to be?
Yeah, probably. I think it's 2 sophomores and another senior, another junior with her, too. So it's a young group.
Right.
Well, there's 10 seniors on the East Lyme team.
They're loaded.
There's 4 seniors on Stonington. So
they're going to be loaded.
Of the 10 seniors on East Lyme, they have never lost an ECC championship. So for that entire group of seniors, I mean, this is,
Do they take it personally, Lindsay?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I think the whole tradition takes it pretty personally.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be, you come into a team that's won 10 straight championships, you don't want to be on the field for the first one that doesn't.
No.
No.
Because that's what they're going to. Hey, weren't you the defender
broke
on that
the streak?
first one?
Yeah, you broke the streak.
Exactly right. You don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
All right, so the Vikings have the ball, 4-3 lead, 4 minutes remaining here in the first half, and off goes Carly Rowe with the ball for the Vikings. Straight shot down the left edge of the field is Rowe. Carries it back behind the goal where she loves to set up shop. Gets a little screen from a teammate. Right in front, shot, and a goal from Rowe to Healy, but we have a whistle.
Shooting space. So when you're within the critical scoring area, which is I think 15 meters out, you have a straight shot to goal, and if someone's in your way, it's shooting space. So she'll get a free position for that.
So no goal, but free position?
Yep.
Wow.
So Healy with the ball for the Vikings. I think they'd rather have the goal.
Yeah.
Great job that time. And right away, there it is, Healy with the goal. So we saw Rowe to Healy get negated. Healy right back with the 5th goal of the half for the Vikings. 5-3 East Lyme with 3:18 remaining here in the first half.
Yeah, junior attacker Caroline Healy, her first goal of the ballgame, Casey. And again, a point-blank shot off of a penalty, which cost East Lyme a goal. Isn't that? It's strange how that works.
It is, but to Healy's credit, a no-brainer on that shot. Zipped it stick side to the net side of the keeper, Lowe, which is the easier side to make the save, but the way she put it down, that was a bullet there right to the low edge of the goalkeeper.
25 goals on the year, so she is no stranger to finding the net, Lindsay.
Lindsay, did you have a particular spot that you like to? Did you like to go top shelf? Did you like to go low? And was there a particular spot you like to shoot?
Yeah, I'm a lefty, so I like the offside hip. So maybe the goalie's left hip. Yeah,
that's
a shot.
That's hard. That's a very challenge. I know that for a fact. That is a hard place as a keeper to make that save. That is not a natural position.
No.
Geller on a run right now for the Vikings. Down low to Rowe. Rowe spins to the middle of the field. Rowe sets up shop, wants to get to her right side so she can launch a shot, and we're getting a penalty, and it'll be
a block.
Stonington ball.
Yeah, kind of like basketball. Same idea. It's like a moving pick.
So since that timeout, the pressure has been applied here by East Lyme. Mm-hmm. Great timeout. Great coaching.
Slowed it down. That's all I needed.
2:45 remaining in the half. Here come the Bears trying to get within a goal. They have never been down 2 goals. They are currently. Nice run, however, by Woviotis. Woviotis gets rid of the ball to Robert. Robert in front. Nice job on the forecheck by the Vikings, and Stonington will reset. And a misguided pass zips past Sabadini out of bounds, and a good hustle by Rose so that the Vikings will have possession.
Key 2 minutes here, Lindsay, to end the half on a high note here for either the Vikings and or Stonington to get a goal to get back into the ballgame.
Yeah, definitely. Whoever scores going out of the half will be feeling pretty good.
Momentum is a fickle thing in high school sports, Casey O'Neill.
Long pass from Rose to Abigiani. Abigiani on a run for East Lyme. I just wanted to make sure I got to say Abigiani. And now behind the net, Valdez with the ball for the Vikings. Valdez spins. Nice move that time by Valdez. She's looking for a cutter. Finds Ficini. Ficini up top to Geller. Geller right in the middle of the field. We're down to 1:35. Geller spins, looking to get a shot off stick side, but nice pressure and a illegal check that time as what the stick hit the shoulder. Is that what we're going to call that?
It's looking like that.
I'm learning. I'm learning, sports doctor.
You're getting there.
So Geller will have the ball for East Lyme. Dishes off. A run down the side by Bates. Bates looks to in the middle for Healy. Wild shot and a nice save as Rowe put one on goal, but a save by Banks. Gordon loses the ball, but it's retained by East Lyme. Almost down to a minute remaining. Bates, she loses the ball, and it will be a charge, just like basketball.
Yeah.
Hand behind the head. I like that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I feel like lacrosse and basketball have a lot of similarities.
Yep.
You know, it's funny you say that, but that's what our esteemed Peter Wappy, who is our lacrosse expert on staff, said that even though I thought it looked like hockey, he said that there's a lot of similarities between lacrosse and basketball, particularly in the offensive end.
Yeah.
And the more I see, the more I agree. I think you guys had it. It's a nice combination of a lot of different sports. Stonington, under a minute, trying to get one more shot off, or one more goal anyway there, in the offensive end. Sabadini with the ball, straight up the middle. No defenders. Now finally she gets checked. She heads behind the goal. 35 seconds remaining. Finds a cutter, shot, and a beautiful save by Rose. She stones Katie Johnson right in front of the net.
Boy, Alex Rose has played a tremendous first half here for the Vikings.
Loose ball on the turf. Who's going to scoop? It's going to be Stonington, and they will have a whistle and the ball. 17.7 seconds remaining. On a run for the Bears is Cassell. And another whistle. As Casada had the ball, and she will retain. They're going to send it back to Cassell. 13 seconds remaining. There goes Cassell. One last shot for Stonington. Burgess with the ball. Spins, looking to get a shot off. 8 seconds left. Burgess fires. And another save by Rose. And that save will take us to the end of the first half. And oh, how sweet the Rose smells here at East Lyme High School. She has single-handedly kept the Vikings with a 2-goal lead. We're at the half. 5-3 East Lyme.
Senior captain says 10 straight. We're going to make it 11 on my watch, hopefully. Big-time performance by the goalie, Casey O'Neill. Tremendous first half.
So we are at halftime. 7-minute halftime here at East Lyme. The Vikings with a 5-3 lead over the Stonington Bears on Championship Thursday, the ECC Girls Lacrosse Final.
Let's do a quick little house call here at halftime, and let's talk to one of the interns. I call him Ricky. We'll call him Brian. Brian, what's going on? Long time no see. How are you?
Pretty good. How are you doing
Not
today?
doing too bad. A couple things going on in the world of sport. I got a couple rookies right here to my right. I got Lindsay and Brian. Brian, let's talk a little NBA basketball right now, shall we?
All right. What do you want to talk about?
Dom, you tell me.
I don't know.
Golden State Warriors sitting there right now waiting for the winner of the Celtics Cavaliers.
I think it'll be Cavaliers facing them in the finals. I honestly don't think the Celtics have a shot in the world.
Well, they have no Isaiah Thomas, so you're really going on a limb and making that prediction.
Well, I don't know. They've been playing better without him. So.
No, I think you're right. I mean, I think the ball has moved a little bit. They just lack a scoring punch down the stretch of these ball games.
They do. Kelly Olynyk, obviously, in the last series, stepped up big. Marcus Smart had a big game the other day, but they don't have someone that they can really count on right now to score the ball for them.
Has this been a collision course basically since the finals last year? That Golden State and Cleveland face each other for the trilogy here.
I don't know. I really thought the Spurs can do it this year.
You like the Spurs?
I mean, I'm not a Spurs fan, but you have to respect them. They beat in the series this season. They beat Golden State 3-1. They play tremendous defense all the time, and Kawhi Leonard is just a robot. Honestly, he's not even a human being. I really thought they could take him out, but with him getting hurt, it was just a punch to the body for them, and they just couldn't get back on their feet.
Yeah, I would agree. And that, like I said, big lead in game one on the road. No Kawhi Leonard. And Kawhi Leonard, and Casey and I have talked about this a lot. He is probably one of the 4 or 5, okay, Casey's fine. One of the 4 or 5 game changers in the NBA. So you've got, LeBron, you've got, Kevin Durant, maybe Anthony Davis. I'm not going to put Harden or Westbrook in that category. Casey might. But I think Kawhi Leonard's one of those guys who are where he's a game changer. So if he goes to a team or he's off a team or on a team, he kind of shifts power a little bit. So when you take him off that squad, and plus they've got no Tony Parker as well. So, once they lost their number one scorer and number one defender, they were in trouble. What about the comments that Ty Lue had made about Boston is more difficult to cover on the offensive set than Golden State will be?
I think he kind of just had to say that after the one loss to them, and that they've been playing well the last 2 games. Golden State's Golden State. No matter how much I do not like them, you have to respect them and their offense. But the Celtics are no Golden State, so I think he just was trying to be respectful.
Stop. You a basketball fan, Lindsay? You're not.
Kind of.
You're a hockey fan. You're a hockey fan. You're getting in the groove right now.
Yeah, I'll watch it. I don't watch it too closely, though.
Right. I mean, what do you follow?
The Bruins sometimes.
Okay, you like the Bruins
yeah.
and stuff? Do you like the WNBA? Do you go to the Sun games and stuff like that?
I've been, but not too often. Not
you're
recently
too
at
cool
all.
for it. You're too cool for it.
Busy.
You're busy? You're going to grad school next year?
Yep.
Wow, that's tremendous. How much do you think that high school sports and playing sports helped you with academics along the way?
I feel like it organized your day and helped you a lot with time management, and also kind of made you competitive in, I don't know, different aspects of your life. So you tried your hardest.
And your Paige is your sister?
Yeah.
Okay. She also played lacrosse here.
Yeah, and then she played field hockey and lacrosse at Eastenr Connecticut State University.
Oh wow, what's the difference between field hockey and lacrosse?
Field hockey is just more on the ground. It's different positions too, and a lot of different rules.
What's a better game?
I like lacrosse.
You like lacrosse better?
Yeah.
That's tremendous. It's tremendous stuff. I mean, so I'm glad you're sitting in. I'm glad you're part of the broadcast, and and Brian, you're the intern now. You're just learning. What have you learned, say, in your last 4 or 5 weeks here on game day?
I mean, I'm just learning a lot about different sports now. This is my first lacrosse game I've ever seen in my life, honestly. So it's pretty.
My second.
It was pretty cool to get some
Or third.
experience. Last week we covered the Fitch Montville baseball game,
Right.
and I got to do a post-game interview.
Right.
So I would love to go into broadcasting, and it's just great to get some experience under my belt now.
The Casey makes it look easy.
Yeah, I know. I know.
We just, it's funny because you had mentioned after one of the ball games, you guys don't stop talking.
Yeah.
You just kind of keep going and going and going. It's tremendous stuff. So, you're at Sacred Heart University.
Yes, sir.
All right, great. That's fantastic. Well, let me bring Casey back on, Brian, and we'll catch up with you at halftime of the next game.
All right, it's great to talk to you.
All right, we'll talk to you soon. I saw Brian at the podcast on Monday night. Now, you're shaking your head about Boston not being tougher to defend than Golden State?
Keith, I don't want to get too crazy here, but Brian makes well thought out, well articulated arguments. I'm almost tempted to just take the headphones off you and have a conversation with Brian.
Smart.
Because he's a smart
kid.
Now he's wrong because he's young, and that's okay.
Right, yes.
Youth is wasted on the young.
Yes.
The thing that he said that's wrong is about Golden State and San Antonio. Now, San Antonio, he's right. The culture there, Pop's a great coach. The culture there is fantastic. I think their chance to win that series went out the window when Parker got hurt.
I would agree.
Despite some of the backups playing very well, there and I think it's the culture of winning in San Antonio that even allowed them to compete in that series. I think it's an easy thing to say, if Kawhi hadn't gotten hurt, they would have had a chance to win the series. I don't think so, but I do think you nailed it. I do think he's more of a game changer. He might be 4 in terms of because of his versatility and the fact that he's a lockdown defender in addition. As far as the Celtics go, what did you not?
I don't know.
That they still have a shot.
No, let me in the last 30 seconds here before we start the second half, and I'll talk to you about this in the second game. Who is going to be more on the hook if they don't win this championship coming up between Cleveland and Golden State? Would it be Durant or LeBron? Think about it.
LeBron. No, I don't have to think about it.
Right,
LeBron's got nothing to be on the hook for. He won his championship last year, and he beat this team. If Durant doesn't win it, this is the team. He came here specifically to win a championship. They won the championship without him. If he shows up there and they don't win, he is forever second fiddle to LeBron James.
Nailed it. He's ever second fiddle in this era.
So this is. I mean, he came to a 70-win team.
25 minutes to the chip, as they would say. 25 minutes to determine the girls' ECC lacrosse tournament championship. Casey O'Neill.
Now, don't go anywhere, because at the end of this one, we will bring you the boys' championship between Waterford and East Lyme, a rematch of a game previously heard on game day. East Lyme now on the attack. Hannah Geller with the ball for the Vikings in a 2-goal lead. 24 minutes remaining here in the ball game. Off it goes to Rowe, and an immediate goal right off the bat. Rowe puts the Vikings up 3.
Number 3 for number 3. The hat trick for Carly Rowe. Again, a point-blank goal right in front of the net. And the junior attacker cashes in and makes this a 6-3 ball game for the Vikings, Casey.
I got to tell you, when Rowe has the ball, more than any player on the field, when Rowe has the ball, and to some extent Gordon, don't look down at your program. Because
No.
if you look down at your program, even for a second, you're going to miss a goal.
No.
The release is quick. Like to get shots off, and now the Vikings with what I would consider to be a lead of 3 goals.
Yeah, Healy, Rowe, Gordon, very fast, very, very elusive in front of the net, Lindsay. When you give him a shot like that, very hard to defend.
And here's a over-the-top pass, and Casada will scoop it up for the Bears. The Bears need a goal desperately to stem the tide right now, and they have not been able to figure out Alex Rose, the senior goalie of East Lyme. Stonington looking for anything, but they've gotten some good shots. Rose has just been remarkably solid in the goals thus far for East Lyme. Nice check by Ficini, and the Vikings with a steal. On the run is Valdez. And the Vikings will have a chance here now for the...
Yeah, they just redirected it in order to clear the ball out.
It's been an awful long time since we heard from Stonington attacker Margaret Burgess as well. A goal early, Casey, and then been silenced since.
Yeah, I got to think if you're Stonington, you got to get the ball onto her stick and just see if she can make something happen.
Yeah.
But I think the story of the game more than anything else is Alex Rose. Alex Rose has been so stout in goal. It's like you equate it to those hockey goalies standing on their head. Well, right now she's doing exactly that. Ficini inside, ball loose, and a nice job that time by Stonington Molly Banks. And the Bears will clear. On a run is Woviotis. Woviotis down the sideline for the Bears. She's being checked by Geller. They're running stride for stride. Geller stick checking her right now. Spin by Woviotis to the middle of the field. Pass goes to Johnson. Johnson looking to get a shot off. Johnson shoots high over the top of the goal.
A nice shot that time by Johnson. She had a good look at it, point blank, Casey, like you said, just high and to the left. Good look that time by the Stonington attacker.
Yeah, definitely a strong right-handed player, so she was going towards her strong side.
Woviotis with the ball for the Bears. Woviotis dishes off to Lamb. And now the Bears looking to try to get Burgess free. Burgess with the ball, looking for room. Guarded nicely by Abigiani. Burgess around the net, spins, looking for some room, looking for a pass. Nothing there, still spinning, and can't even get a shot off. Great defense that time by East Lyme. Give the credit to Anna McCarthy that time. She did not let up on Burgess, the dangerous Stonington scorer.
Would those be some of the things, Lindsay, that your dad would talk about at halftime, securing up some of the things defensively and not giving Stonington clean looks?
Oh, yeah. It's definitely a lot of communication on defense. I feel like that's what he would really focus on, especially since they're all sliding to help each other.
Here comes East Lyme on the attack. Rowe with the ball and a whistle.
Yeah, check to her face.
So East Lyme will have a direct run.
Oh, and Stonington's also offside, so you're only allowed to have 7 players in the over the restraining line, so they had to fix that. Similar foul.
Rowe with the ball for the Vikings behind the net. Now she spins back around. In front, Rowe, shot just wide of Banks.
Boy, she is tough. She can get off a shot with her right, a backhanded shot with her left. A tremendous, tremendous shot.
We had talked about...
There's the coach.
Yeah, we had talked about Margaret Burgess, and she is now on the sideline getting a breather. In front, Ficini scores! Great pass in front to Olivia Ficini, and she puts it in the back of the net for a 7-3 Viking lead.
A lot of pressure, Lindsay, in front of the net for East Lyme. A lot to take for a freshman goalie right now.
Yeah, and those aren't easy shots to save, so she's doing pretty well for herself for this kind of level of play.
You're seeing right now how the bigger division school East Lyme, who was 6-0 in conference, pulling ahead of the 7-0 Bears. The Bears stood toe-to-toe with them, a 3-3 game, but now 4 unanswered goals by the Vikings, and the level of play is picking up. The Vikings are now starting to really seize control of this ballgame.
Yeah, we've talked about this senior-laden team for East Lyme, Casey, but it's funny because, out of their 7 goals, 6 of them have been scored by juniors.
A lot of returning talent for the Vikings.
Haley Gordon with the lone goal by a East Lyme senior.
Woviotis controls for Stonington. Whistle, and it'll stay Stonington ball in Woviotis' stick. Woviotis now over across the middle. It goes to Casada. Casada in front, spins, shoots low, and scores! Kat Casada with a much-needed goal for the Stonington Bears. Goes through the 5-hole of Alex Rose, and finally she found a way to beat the talented senior goalie of the Vikings. 7-4 with 20 minutes and 40 seconds remaining. The Vikings' lead has been cut to 3.
Yeah, second goal of the ballgame for the junior midfield attacker. Good look that time, like you said, and just kind of calm things down a little bit for the Stonington team to not let this game so-called get out of reach. You start getting down, 3, 4, 5 goals, Lindsay. That's a tough hill to overcome.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think they needed that goal there to kind of stay in it.
Big, yeah, that's one of those momentum goals. You have to stem the tide.
Yeah.
4 straight, you just want to, at some point you start thinking to yourself, are we ever going to score again?
Right.
So that's a nice momentum starter at least. And if they can never get another one here, put a little pressure on the Vikings, then maybe we get back into it.
As a player, Lindsay, on the field, do you feel that? Do you feel that pressure if you're down 3 or 4 goals? Do you press a little bit?
Yeah, no, definitely. It makes you work harder.
Now, you were a college soccer player.
Yes.
And I think you can equate it in soccer. You get down a couple goals in soccer, which is harder to score than in lacrosse. Absolutely. You start, feeling, are we ever going to get a chance to score again? And you get down a couple goals, it's a lot. It's definitely, you start taking shots you wouldn't normally take, trying to make passes you might not normally make. And I think the same probably holds true in lacrosse.
Yeah, there's more pressure to it.
East Lyme with an opportunity in front. Bates, point blank. Here's a shot and a goal from Caroline Healy. Great passing from the Vikings, answering the Stonington goal, pushing the lead back to 4, 8-4 Vikings.
Now, that would be considered a breakaway on the right-hand side, almost like a breakaway layup in basketball. Caroline Healy with her second goal of the ballgame, Lindsay.
Yeah, it was a quick transition, too. They got the ball on defense and moved it up the side pretty well.
Turnover leads to a scoring opportunity in that case.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a lot like basketball.
Yeah.
I got to say, that was as good a series of passes as we've seen in any of the lacrosse that we've done so far. Crisp passing, a run, pass, and then, Healy finds herself just wide open, and it's a layup. I mean, you don't make that shot. That's a breakaway in hockey, right? It's a layup. 8-4 Vikings.
A bit of a deflation for the Bears a little bit, too. They cut the lead to 3 goals. Now they're down by 4 again.
Sort of like when you're watching the Celtics make a run, cut it to 6, and the Cavs go, all right, we got to play again, and next thing you know, it's 16.
They hit a switch.
On a run, all the way straight down the field is Bates. Bates pulls up, switches over, shoots low, ball loose, deflection that time, in front by Banks. Vikings still in control, however. Hines and a whistle.
East Lyme is in attack mode right now, Casey. Have the Bears back on their heels a little bit. It's a tough spot to be for the Bears players right now.
Yeah, you can see the Vikings are feeling it. I don't think Coach liked that goal, and now it's like put the pressure back on again. The Vikings are looking to put the foot on the pedal right now. Hines behind the net with the ball for the Vikings. Spins in front, wide open, point blank was Rowe. I think it hit the post, and either way, it's going to be no goal, Bear ball.
Wow, how is that not a goal? I think the referee is saying it did not break the plane.
Yeah, I think she had a crease violation, so there's a circle
the crease
around
violation,
the goal.
okay.
That was Rowe right in front. A great pass, one-timer that time by Rowe. She was point blank, but a crease violation, and the officials now are going to talk about it. And they're going to we'll see what they come out of it with. Right now, it's a Stonington ball, no goal for East Lyme. 8-4, though. Vikings still lead. And it will be Stonington ball. Johnson loses it on the ground, but retains possession on a whistle.
Or the high stick. Lindsay, is that what that is?
Stick to body contact,
Stick to
probably.
body contact, yeah.
So here's Woviotis on a run for Stonington. And she's being checked out of bounds, and we're going to get another whistle.
Oh, she got to push.
So much different than the boys' game. Stick to body contact, the push, that type of physicality, and no in the girls' side.
Yeah.
We do see 3 officials, though, today. Remember, in the Waterford East Lyme boys game, regular season, only 2. 3 here in the championship game, which is, as we know, is much needed. Those 2 officials in the boys game were working hard with only 2 of them on the field. Rose controls the keeper for East Lyme. They'll take some air out of the clock right now. 17 minutes and 50 seconds remaining here in the ECC Girls Lacrosse Championship game. East Lyme on top, 8-4 over a game Stonington Bears.
You know, the one thing I noticed, too, about Rose is she surveys the field very well. She sees everything in front of her. She puts her players in place. She puts them in position. She's a cool customer back there.
Oh, definitely. You can tell her seniority when she's playing.
She's
very calm.
And very confident, too, the way she everything she does with a lot of confidence, coming out of the net, taking the angles away. You can tell she knows what she's doing, but she also knows that she's very decisive in the decisions that she makes.
I almost said nonchalant, but that would not be using that term, any justice right there. She looks nonchalant, Casey, but like you said, in control.
It's completely in control.
Yeah.
That's the right term for it, Sports Doctor. In front, opportunity in front for Healy, but Stonington does a nice job checking. Healy instead in front to Ficini. Ficini looking to get a shot off. She spins right, and she'll take it back up top and reset for the Vikings as we are now under 17 minutes remaining. 8-4 East Lyme.
Great pressure in front of the net for the Vikings.
Geller with a run. Tries to go strong stick side to the right. Back on top to Ficini, and we're going to see a little North Carolina 4 corners right now take a little time off the clock. Ficini trying to go behind the net, looking for a cutter. Defended nicely by Daisy Williams. Ficini back behind the net. Up top, she sends it to an East Lyme in front. We're going to have a whistle. It was Sammy Valikos, but a whistle that time.
It was another shooting space call. If you watch Stonington, they play with the backer zone. So there's going to be a girl high pressuring and then one right behind her just in case they beat her. That's why she got the call.
Right in front, a shot and a save by Banks. Valikos had a good chance, but Banks was there. Bears control. Up ahead, a pass for Woviotis is a little high, and it's controlled instead by Healy. Vikings, Healy in front. Rowe a shot, deflected. Ball in front. Scooped up by Gordon. Gordon now takes a run for the Vikings. 8-4 East Lyme. In front, Ficini. On the right edge, Ficini cuts, gets a shot off in front, and a nice save by Banks.
These are good possessions here by the Vikings, though. Burning some clock, taking quality shots, Lindsay.
Mm-hmm. Definitely what they need to do right now.
15 minutes, 20 seconds remaining. Woviotis for the Bears. Checked on the sideline by Geller. We've seen these two battle in the middle of the field, these two high-energy midfielders. And a pass is high by Stonington and will be controlled by East Lyme as Abigiani will have possession in the back line.
It seems like right now, too, what East Lyme is doing is making Stonington work so hard just to bring the ball up in the scoring position and Stonington turning the ball over. That's a lot of pressure that East Lyme is putting on them, and on the offensive end and a defensive end as well.
Yeah, the attackers for East Lyme are working all the way to the other restraining line, which is definitely putting a lot of pressure on Stonington.
Here comes Bates for East Lyme. East Lyme broke pressure with great passing. Bates in front, shot, score! Carly Rowe on a great pass from Julia Bates. And there is the passing of the Vikings and a 5-goal lead.
Yeah, and Carly Rowe again putting herself in good position. Casey, recipient of the nice pass. 4 goals on the day, and this front line doing some damage for the Vikings. Healy, Rowe, Gordon, Ficini. 9-4 right now, East Lyme. And again, you see the turnover on one end, how hard Stonington had to work to get the ball in the scoring position. Turnover, right back the other way, quick goal scored.
Yeah, and what you're seeing, and Lindsay, please, chime in on this, but with being down the goals that they're down, Stonington's got to send as much offensive pressure to the goal as possible. Yeah. And as soon as East Lyme got possession, the middle of the field was wide open, and with a couple of passes, they were able to not only break pressure but put on an offensive attack as well.
Yeah, the ball moves really fast through the air, so East Lyme's been able to do that, and then it tires out the midfielders for the Stonington team, so they can't get onto the offensive end as quick. It looks like.
And that, results, the last 3 East Lyme goals have been essentially on 3-on-1, 4-on-2 sort of offensive breaks. And credit to the passing of the Vikings, though, finding the open person every opportunity. The other thing, Lindsay, that I'm seeing is what a weapon Alex Rose is in goal as a starter of the offense. They're very comfortable getting the ball onto her stick and letting her generate sort of a break, the breakout there. Whereas on Stonington's side of things, even though she's very talented as a freshman, I think they're just happy that when Banks makes a save, they clear out and they try to let her distribute. Rose is almost a part of their, defense to offense transition.
You'll see her pop out of the goal too to defend a girl or kind of get more involved in the play, and then she has the best view of the field. So when they're trying to go off from the offensive side, she kind of starts it up.
9-4, East Lyme with a commanding now 5-goal lead. 14:37 remaining here in the second half of the ECC Girls Championship lacrosse game.
What's your dad talking about right now, Lindsay? What's he talking about in the huddle?
Probably about the timing of the game and just being aware of the clock and taking advantage of possessions. I mean, they score most of their goals through transition, but at this point, when you have a 5-goal lead and 15 minutes left in the championship, you got to be conscious of the time too.
Will you let them come get you a little bit in your offensive end? Will you, kind of like Casey had mentioned, the 4 corners spreading the field a little bit? Were you trying to loosen up the middle of the Stonington defense by making them come out and play you?
Yeah, exactly.
Now in basketball, that's a strategy, right? You bring your guards up top. They eat clock, especially in high school with no shot clock. They eat clock, they weave, and then when the defense overcommits, you got to usually get a layup or a 2-on-1. How do you balance, East Lyme with a 5-goal lead? How do you balance wanting to take time off the clock versus seizing an opportunity to score a goal when the defense overcommits? Is there, you as a player, would there be certain things you would look at to say, okay, now it's better for me to try to score, or is it better for me to take time off the clock?
Yeah, I think what they're looking for is probably more smarter shots and not just shooting to score. It's taking your time and then getting a good shot off and kind of guaranteeing that it goes in. So
if the count's 3-0, don't swing unless it's right down the middle, Casey. Unless it's right there, unless it's your pitch.
Yeah.
9-4 East Lyme, 14:32 remaining here in the ball game.
There's a push.
And Geller will have the ball for the Vikings as she was shoved from behind by the Bears, and Geller will start the transition for East Lyme. There she goes, Hannah Geller, the very, very fast midfielder. Look at her fly down the left sideline. Cuts back to the middle of the field. In front, it goes to Bates, but a deflection, and Stonington will steal. Spinning for the Bears, Daisy Williams. She's looking to clear right now, but hounded by Bates. Back passes, it goes Madison Cassell. Now she'll make a run up the sideline, but Geller intercepts her. Cassell keeps going forward, gets it to Burgess. Burgess cuts to the middle of the field. Oh, nice move to the left, cutting back around. She's got her defender spinning, but good recovery finally by McCarthy. But Burgess had McCarthy going both ways. Burgess in front, loose pass. Vikings retain the possession. Nice job, and there it goes back to Rose to restart the offense from the goal.
Yeah, the X factor back there in the goalie, senior captain, Alex Rose.
Quick passing this time, but a turnover as the Vikings lose the ball out of bounds.
And again, we see all the energy, taking away from Stonington just to get the ball up into the front field.
Yeah, I love the job they have done on Burgess. They have really done a great job keeping her in control, the leading scorer for the Stonington Bears.
Yeah, first goal of the game for the Bears, and she has been stifled ever since.
Now she has it in front, looking to get a shot off, spins, shoots, and a save by Rose.
Yeah, push first, though. So she'll have a free position shot, I think.
Yep, they're going to give Burgess a free possession right in front as she was pushed before she got the shot off. So Margaret Burgess with a chance here for Stonington, down 9-4, under 13 minutes, in front, whips a shot, and scores! Beats Rose to the stick side, lower left of the goal, and Margaret Burgess cuts the Viking lead to 9-5.
Yeah, and Margaret Burgess certainly earned her second goal of the ball game in that possession for the Bears. Casey did a lot of the work of bringing the ball up into the front part of the field for the Stonington Bears. And again, the leading scorer cashes in with her second goal of the game.
And if you look at the body language of Stonington right now, even off of that goal, they're cooked. I mean, they're
tired.
They are tired. It's the end of a long game, and East Lyme has been making them run in the second half using really good long passes through the air. These Stonington Bears players have worked for every opportunity they've had so far. 9-5 East Lyme, 12:48 away from their 11th consecutive ECC championship.
That was an odd position on the face-off. Both players were standing on the same side of the field.
Yeah. I mean, you can stand wherever you want to.
All right. So you don't have to face each other.
Could I get on her shoulders like a piggyback?
No.
Well, she said I could stand anywhere.
Very odd position.
Johnson with the ball for Stonington in front, makes a run, looking for a shot. Johnson spins, and a great save by Rose. Point blank, Johnson had a great shot, but the senior, Alex Rose, with another Viking save.
Now look at Rose, calmly, nonchalantly, in control with the ball, burning some clock, positioning her, her players. She's very, almost like having a coach on the field.
Yeah. And she's only going to throw it if she knows it's open, which is good.
And there's no time pressure on her? Is she just letting the clock tick?
Nope. If she's in the circle, then she has 10 seconds, but she's out of the circle now, so as much time as she wants.
And she finally does release it.
On cue.
Long pass up ahead. It goes to Harrington. Harrington straight down the middle of the field. Harrington cuts in front and now heads out toward the backside of the goal. Harrington looking for a cutter.
You got Rowe and Gordon sticking their chops in front of the goal.
Balakos now has it. Right seam. Spins to her weak side, and they'll take some time off the clock. Now Geller straight up the middle of the field, and she's going to go wide. In front to Healy. Back to Healy. Loose. Who's going to come up with it? Rowe had a chance. Now Rowe has it in front. Tries to get a shot off and scores! Over the right shoulder of Banks, and another goal for Carly Rowe.
Her fifth of the ball game, the junior attacker. 5 goals in this ECC championship game, and Carly Rowe has a nose for the net, Casey. She is everywhere in the circle.
Well, Aces are wild on the scoreboard with 11-11 remaining in the game. The Vikings have doubled up the Bears 10-5.
And again, Lindsay, too, when you talk about some of these players getting free in front of the net, the fatigue, a big factor right now for the Bears.
Yeah, definitely. Just like the movement of the ball, too. It's quicker than you can move your feet, so it leaves people open.
Stay tuned at the end of this game as we will transition from the ECC Girls Championship Lacrosse game to the ECC Boys Championship Lacrosse game, where a rematch of an earlier game day Wired Zone production, the #1 East Lyme Viking boys will take on their biggest challengers to date in the ECC, the Waterford High School Lancers.
Yeah, there's that face-off position again. That, to me, that's very odd, Lindsay, but they can stand like that.
Yeah, so basically the sticks just need to be a certain way. It's like, and as long as they're like the way they need to be positioned, you can stand on either side or really however works
So
for you.
just as long as they're even sticks, no stick advantage, you can stand either way.
Yeah, it's like they have to be kind of like positioned a certain way, and so, yeah, it works.
There you go.
There's Burgess making a run. Nice check that time by the Vikings, but Burgess retains possession. It was a good stick check that time by Harrington, but it will be Stonington ball, and Burgess will have possession as we're at 10:45 remaining here in the ball game. 10-5 East Lyme on top. Burgess up top to Johnson. Johnson goes behind the net. Cutter Casada in front. Ball loose and picked up by Ficini for East Lyme. Ficini running right onside with Woviotis. And we're going to have a whistle.
Stick to the face action that time.
Yeah, Woviotis is tired. She's run a lot in the midfield position. Now in front it goes to Gordon. Gordon runs straight, makes a move to the left, spins back right. Gordon looking for a shot, and she scores! Haley Gordon beats the Stonington keeper bottom right, and the Vikings are tacking it on 11-5 East Lyme.
Yeah, senior attacker Haley Gordon. She has got a motor, Casey's second goal of the ball game. We're just starting to see, Rowe, Gordon, Healy, Ficini, sprinkling the goalie. And Alex Rowe is just a little too much right now for the Stonington Bears with just under 10 minutes left to go in this game.
Yeah, and you got to give credit to the East Lyme midfielders as well. We've seen Geller do great work in the middle of the field, transitioning to Bates. And the passing in the midfield has been very, very good, allowing the East Lyme offensive attackers.
Yeah, Lindsay, these goals that are point-blank range for the Vikings, is that due to fatigue from Stonington? These players are getting the position they're getting?
Yeah, easily could be. Definitely good positioning.
Ficini controls for East Lyme, throws it up ahead, right in front, and a goal! Carly Rowe on a great pass from Olivia Ficini, 12-5 East Lyme.
Yeah, the double hat trick for Carly Rowe. Her 6th goal of the ball game. She has half of the East Lyme goals right now, and right now they're thinking about the 11th straight ECC Girls Lacrosse Championship for the Lady Vikings.
Yeah, give Olivia Ficini all kinds of credit. She stole the ball and then just physically outworked the Stonington midfielder and got a beautiful pass right under the stick of Rowe, right in front of the goal.
Junior midfielder seems to be a bit of the facilitator out there for the East Lyme team.
And she is a physical specimen.
Yeah.
I mean, she's a strong girl.
Yeah, definitely very strong.
Call that one of the dirty work players out there, one of the grunt players.
She's
You got to
working.
have them kids on your team. You know, whether on a basketball team getting rebounds and playing defense, or out there doing the little things on the lacrosse field as well.
Just as important as
Yes.
the goal scorer.
Like the Julio Nieves of the we saw, in Ledger basketball, there's the poor kid who's had like 4 knee surgeries, but does everything on the floor that no one else wants to do.
Like the Marcus Smart.
Like the Marcus Smart.
That's right. Yeah, stop.
Shoots too much.
He's got to.
No, he really doesn't. Right in front, another opportunity for the Vikings. Rowe, and they're going to get a penalty here on Stonington. I think that's about all Stonington has left to do is just hold.
Well, it's extremely tough when they're putting that much pressure on the goalie with Gordon and Rowe and just these players and feasting in front of the net.
Here's Rowe on a free look. She shoots and scores.
On cue.
Carly Rowe.
Yeah, she'll make that all day.
And she has 13-5 East Lyme, 9-11 remaining here in the championship game. The Vikings well on their way to their 11th straight.
Now, do you know any of these kids out there in the field still?
I know them just because of my dad and talking to him, and then I would coach them in camp or something like that.
You ever get down there and grab a stick and put a mouth guard in and go back at it with them?
Nah.
No? You're too old for that now?
I mean, kind of. I could play with them now.
I'm sure.
I have no doubt.
Yeah.
Now, if we're gonna give a theme song for this game, is it gonna be "Every Rose Has a Thorn" or "Row, Row, Row Your Boat"?
I mean, listen. Rose has its thorns, and it's raining enough out there for a boat.
Well, Rowe is rowing the Vikings toward another championship, but I go back to the play of Alex Rose in goal when Stonington was right in this game, 3-3.
Yeah.
She stoned about 5 consecutive shots. I think you give up a couple of those goals, and now East Lyme gets behind in the game. That would have been interesting, but she just dominated Stonington. A shot sails high by Johnson, and it will be Stonington ball. 13-5 in the game, 8:50 remaining.
Every rose has its thorn, and she's the thorn in Stonington's side.
That's where I was going with the whole
There you
thing.
go. All right.
Took the sports doctor a second to
Well,
catch up.
80s rock and roll
That's
reference.
why I went
All
there
right.
as well. I tried to help you out here. If there was a Dawkins song I could have named for you, I would have done that. But if there was a Scorpions song I could have named.
I love it for Sting. There's an album.
Oh, my goodness gracious. And you just accomplished something that I rarely see. Peter Wappy laughed with shame at you naming that album. I can only say it's shame because really, good for you, sports doctor. Were you ever at a Scorpions concert?
I've been to many.
Of course you have.
Tremendous.
13-5 Vikings here. 8 minutes remaining in the ball game. On a run, Caroline Healy. Vikings sensing another opportunity here. The Bears are running out of gas after a very, very game effort. In front, behind the net now, Gordon controls for the Vikings. And every time you think the Vikings are going to take a little time off the clock, they attack Healy, and we're going to get a whistle.
I see your
Yeah,
dad.
shooting space.
Yeah, your dad pacing the sidelines now, and maybe he's talking just that. Maybe he's saying, let's burn a little clock here. Let's be patient. I don't know if Rowe knows how to be patient. She gets the ball. She wants to go, Lindsay.
And she'll have another opportunity here. Free look. Rowe shoots, and a nice save by Banks that time, denying Rowe. So I guess she won't make it every time. We figured out she can miss one.
Sure.
The Vikings control, however. Healy with the ball. And as a coach, I think you want to take into consideration a level of sportsmanship that is, this game's in the bag at this point. You don't want to pour it on, but you want your players to be smart with how they approach the end of a game. Right in front, and a gorgeous one-timer and a goal from Caroline Healy, point blank in front.
And then you saw Ficini with the assist from behind the goal, Casey. We've talked about her playing a big part in this ball game, doing the little things. We just saw one of them right there.
And that was Carly Rowe again. I'm getting her and Healy mixed up. The 2 and the 3 are tough on the jerseys, but that was another Carly Rowe goal right in front.
Yeah, tossing the 4 of Haley Gordon, 2, 3, 4, and 5 with Ficini in the mix too. I mean, bet that trifecta, I bet that superfecta straight all day long. They are doing work.
Yeah, of course you were. You were. Tell us about the Preakness.
2, 3, 4, 5. Box it next time, Sports Doctor.
That's right. 14-5 here in the ECC Girls Championship game. The East Lyme Vikings on their way to their 11th consecutive ECC championship as the Stonington Bears are playing out the clock on what is an excellent season, and they will be headed to the Class S state tournament, and the Vikings are going to be the #1 seed on their side of the bracket. And these two teams will not face each other again, but I think both have aspirations to go deep into the state tournament. In front, Burgess. Oh, and that, you can see the frustration because Rose just absolutely stonewalled there. Burgess probably doesn't have that happen more than once a year, and it happened right there.
No, Alex Rose is standing on her head in goal right now for the Vikings. Tremendous job. Talking 64 goals on the year for Burgess, and she has been, like you said, just handcuffed there in front of the net.
I mean, that was, Lindsay, is that something that, I mean, as an offensive player, have you ever been up against a goaltender who just, just had your number and you just couldn't figure out a way to figure her out?
Yeah, that was a really big save there.
What do you do? Hit her in the shin? How do you slow her down?
Throwing a fake.
Throwing a fake. There you go.
Yeah.
In front, Rowe with an opportunity has the ball for the Vikings. Rowe looking to dish across the field to Ficini. Now the Vikings will set up shop up front. 5:30 remaining in the ball game. 14-5. Ficini on a run in front. Rowe, and the ball goes off the stick and into the goal. Carly Rowe, chalk up another one.
8th goal for the junior attacker, Carly Rowe. She has half of the goals so far in the ball game. I do believe it's half. 16 should be adjusted on the scoreboard.
16-5, if that. Yep, or 16-5. The Vikings on top of the Bears, and we are down to 5 minutes remaining here in the ball game. The clock is running with a 15-5. Well, the clock didn't stop, and the clock is still running.
Yeah, once it's a 10-goal lead, there's no stop.
Okay.
And off the field comes some of the Vikings stars, and we see Caroline Healy coming off the field now. She's going to get replaced by Jasmina Georgie. Georgie with her opportunity to get some time here in a championship game. And there goes Geller. Makes a run down the left sideline. Geller spins. Back to the middle of the field. Nice look to Ficini. Ficini shoots, and a save by Banks in front.
Geller's been another one of those glue players here for the Vikings as well.
There's a steal by Rowe right in front, and she scores! Carly Rowe picked off the errant pass and was wide open in front of the net. And there's your 16-5 lead. Vikings on top of the Bears as we are now under 4 minutes remaining.
Yeah, the triple hat trick, as they would say, for Carly Rowe that time.
9 goals.
Yeah, that's a lot of scoring out there for the junior attacker.
16-5 Vikings about to win their 11th consecutive ECC Girls Lacrosse Championship.
You know, I got to think, too, when this game was 4-3 at one point, and again, you saw the kids from East Lyme huddle up behind the net, reset the defensive assignments, make sure nobody got lost in the shuffle a little bit. It seems from that point on, this game has been just entirely different. I mean, mostly one-sided.
Yeah, even that timeout where the momentum just, everything just calmed down after that. I think that made a huge difference.
That's good coaching right there.
Big coaching move.
Big coaching move by your dad.
Yeah.
Casada has it for Stonington. We're under 3 minutes remaining. Casada in front, shoots, and a save by Rose. I made mention on the Casey and the Sports Doctor show that East Lyme is the dominant spring program in the ECC. Well, they're going to win their 11th consecutive Girls Lacrosse Championship. The boys are about to play tonight for their ECC Lacrosse Championship. The baseball team is playing tomorrow night in the ECC Championship. Tennis, they have the #1 seed in the boys' side of tennis.
Wow.
It is all East Lyme all the time right now in the spring sports.
Yeah, and a lot of these schools, a lot of these programs, sports you just mentioned, have a chance to make a run at state championships.
Geller with the ball for the Vikings, dishes it off. Looking to get it back. It ball's loose in front, and the Bears control. And we're going to get a whistle, a little shove.
Stick to the head, I think that is. It's cheating.
Out in front now, the Bears make a run. There's Johnson. Johnson being hounded by Geller. Those two have had a great matchup all game long. Burgess with some space. Burgess heads down the middle, and we're going to get a whistle, and I don't understand why.
Yeah, shooting space, just because it was in like the critical scoring area. So she could have gone to goal, but the girl was right in front of her.
You would think it would be like hockey, where they wouldn't blow the whistle if the advantage is with the offensive player.
Yeah. A delayed offsides, you're talking about something like that?
I don't want you to blow the whistle. I got space here. In front, and an unbelievable save by Rose. Burgess cannot solve Alex Rose.
A star of the ball game. Captain goalie senior Alex Rose. What a luxury to have as a head coach.
1:20 remaining in the Alex Rose Championship show. And we're going to get a charge. And I like that time the Vikings player, Abigail Horner, stood her ground and took the charge.
Yeah. Well, Dave Cornish, legend basketball move there. Step in, take the charge.
And she'll be rewarded with the ball. So Horner controls for the Vikings.
You see Ficini on the sidelines now, too. Lindsay, how does that feel right now for some of these kids out there knowing that they're going to win their, fourth straight ECC title?
Yeah, they're pretty excited.
On a run here in the final seconds of the game. The Vikings up 16-5 with the ball. Valdez. The Vikings looking to take some time off the clock right now. Some of the non-starters in the ball game in this 16-5 game. 30 seconds remaining here from their 11th consecutive championship. The sports doctor heading down to the field, and he's going to grab Coach Phil Schneider at the end of this one and find out what's it feel like to win 11 straight championships in the ECC. Girls lacrosse here at East Lyme. 15 seconds remaining. Stonington with the ball, just running out the clock at this point. Ball is loose and out of bounds. The whistle, but the clock runs, and we're under 5, 4, 3, 2, and the East Lyme girls lacrosse team, the Vikings, have won their 11th consecutive ECC championship, 16-5 over the very game, but overall overmatched Stonington High School Bears. A great effort, Lindsay, from the Bears, but too much Viking talent out there, led by Carly Rowe, Caroline Healy, Olivia Ficini, Haley Gordon, but maybe the star of the game, senior goaltender Alex Rose.